everyone, welcome to Emily's Paper Crafts. I'm Emily Mallory, and today I'm going to show you how to create a very little teeny tiny set of origami crane earrings. So we're going to start with our little piece of paper that's 2 inches by 2 inches, and obviously I've already made 1/2 of the earring already, and we're going to finish making that second one. So be prepared that I'm only going to walk you through making the crane once, but you will need to make 2 to create a set of earrings. So I'm going to start with our paper with the white side up. So that way the design and the colors that I want to see when I'm all finished are on the bottom. So I'm going to take this bottom point that's closest to me and I'm going to fold it up to the top to create a large triangle. Then I'm going to unfold it, rotate the paper a little bit, and now I'm going to take this bottom edge and fold it up to the top to create a rectangle. I'm going to unfold it and rotate it again. So the fold that we just did is now going vertically. I'm going to take that bottom edge, I'm going to fold it up to the top to create another rectangle. I'm now going to unfold it and turn the paper over, so I'm now looking at the colored side. As I flipped it, I put that first point-to-point fold vertically. So now I'm going to create another one that's going horizontally. So I'm going to take that bottom point and fold it to the top. When we're done with this fold, you'll have a great big plus sign in the middle of your paper as well as an X. So then as we unfold it, I'm going to push it in the middle just a little bit on that white side. So I now have a set of dimples. So I have a dimple on the right side and on the left. I'm going to take those 2 dimple corners and pull them gently together and place them in my left hand. And then I'm going to take these other 2 corners and gently pull them together while releasing the 2 corners in my left hand to create a smaller square. Next, we need to take this top layer of paper and take this bottom edge and line it up with that vertical crease line to create, I call it a kite shape ultimately. We're going to be doing this fold 4 times. So there's the first one. So on this side, we're going to take that top layer of paper and the bottom edge is going to get folded in toward that center vertical line. Make sure as you're doing this that the open end is facing you and that single fold point is facing away. So open on the side facing you, single point on the other side. We're going to flip it over and make those same 2 folds on the back side. So we're taking this one and only layer of paper at this point, that bottom edge, and folding it in toward that center vertical crease line. And with this fold, it becomes much more obvious that we are getting a distinct shape. Bottom edge in toward that center crease line. And we now have what I call a kite shape, or sometimes even an ice cream cone, with our ice cream cone down here and our scoop of ice cream on the top. We're going to take that top triangle and fold it over toward us so it lines up right here at the top of those folds. Or another way to look at it is it's folding over at those 2 kite points. Alright, so I'm going to unfold it, turn it around, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back side. I'm going to take that top ice cream triangle and fold it over, and then I'm going to unfold. I'm then going to unfold both of those smaller kite shapes back out to our smaller square. We need to take this top layer of paper, just the top layer, and open it up to that horizontal ice cream fold line. We're going to take these outer edges and fold them in. I call this making the alligator or finding the alligator. Take this outside edge and fold it in. We already have all of the folds there, but it is sometimes easier to start with the folds there on the bottom because those are the ones that are going in the direction that we want. I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing on the back side. We're going to lift up that top colored layers. We're seeing white on the inside all the way up to our ice cream fold line. We're going to take the outer edge and fold it in. Take that outer edge and fold it in. And then just flatten it up. Alright, so kind of like with our kite shape, we need to take the bottom edge here and fold it in toward this center sort of space. Call it a crease line, but it's more of a space at this point. We're working on creating our head and the tail for our crane. So we're taking this bottom edge and folding it in toward that center. And the smaller the paper, the smaller some of these little folds get to be. so no worries if it feels like you're all thumbs. We're going to take this bottom edge and fold it in, that top layer only. It's kind of hard to see sometimes when you're first making a crane because you've got the pattern going as well on the back side. We're going to flip it over. We're going to take this outer edge and fold it in toward that center crease line. Outer edge in toward that center space, sort of crease line. Alright, we now have some very skinny little necks and a tail. It's time to take that neck and tail and go to acrobatics class. So we're going to take each one of these and fold it up to where that space starts and stops right there. I'm going to take both sides, and we're going to unfold, and we're going to turn around, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side, because we would like this fold to be quite flexible. Then we're going to take this little neck or leg, if you would, and kind of open it up. We need to fold it, so our acrobatics fold is what's making the shift. So we're going to take that bottom point and fold it up. Sometimes I have to help it with my finger. And then we're going to just flatten it out. Don't worry if it doesn't want to go completely flat, because we're going to use what I consider the uglier one for the crane head. So we're going to do the same thing on the side. We're going to open it up gently, and we've got our acrobatics fold right there. And we're going to take that point and pull it up gently and fold it. Alright, so that side that I just did doesn't want to fold as nice and smoothly as the other side did. So this is the one that I'm going to use for the crane head. So I'm going to kind of pinch it right below where I want it to, and then I'm going to kind of just flatten it out. Take a fingernail and dimple it to kind of create a reverse fold. You get to decide how much of a beak or head that you want. Bear in mind you're kind of wanting to make it match a little bit if possible. Sometimes you get to go back and play with the first one that you did just to make sure that it's kind of the same way. Then we're going to fold down the wings. The further down you go, the more of that triangular body that you get to see. Alright, we now have our crane done. Good job. We're going to take a head pin and put a couple of beads. Because I've already done one, I need to make sure that I match the bead order if I want a uniform look with my two earrings. I'm going to take that head pin and go right up through that fold hole there at the bottom of the crane, and the goal is to come out at the point of the crane body. And then I put on a few more beads on the top just for some extra visual interest. And these are just little teeny tiny seed beads. Got a blue one, and then a pink one, and then a yellow one. Alright, fantastic. I'm going to take a pair of needle nose pliers or crafting pliers, jewelry pliers, and I'm going to create a loop here on the top. So I'm just going to pull it all the way around, and then I'm going to go backwards just a little bit to create a little bit more of a uniform looking little loop. Okay, and then we're going to take a dangle earring hardware, and there's that little ring at the bottom, and we're going to open that up. Doesn't need to be a lot because the head pin wire is not super thick, and we're just going to loop those together and then close up the head pin. Alright, close it up. Now I have intentionally decided to not make my crane go in any one particular order, because as someone is wearing it, it's going to spin naturally on its own. But we now have a finished earring. If you want to add some extra stability and longevity to your crane earrings, consider adding a water-based stiffener or glaze, so that way it's a little bit more water resistant. I still wouldn't go swimming with a pair of crane earrings that I had spent some time making, but they should be a little bit more water resistant if you're out in a little shower while it's raining and you're caught without an umbrella. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Happy crafting!